You are a Earl Grey and hazelnut tartlet. Baby dolls, today I'm going to speak to you about Bitcoin's monthly candles. It is a very hot topic to everybody, just a joke, just me. The Bitcoin monthly candles is something nobody talks about, and it just flipped green on the monthly super trend. This is super important because it'll give you an indication as to where the trend is going from that point of the cycle. However, there's something important too. So I've made this thread to let you know and just explain all of it. So we have flipped green on the monthly super trend for Bitcoin, but depending on how things go, you still got to close the month above $44,500. This is the monthly chart. You can see if you zoom in, it is exactly where this price is right now. 44,500 is the exact line. It has to close the month, so by the end of January. But it gives you an indication to practice and show you what's going to happen next according to history. And of course, you know, history and crypto and cycles, they definitely do work. Now, just so you know, the monthly super trend, it's a free indicator. You can make money off it. It's just giving you a band. And it says, hey, give me an average band. And if the market price closes above the band, it's now a bull trend. If it goes below, it's a bear. Very, very simple, right? But it's 3 times the average movement. So it adjusts for volatility over time, which is actually really nice, because if you're using data from 10 years ago, Bitcoin, you're going to think from your moving averages and everything that you're going to get a like 10x deviation from your moving average, which is actually what happened in the 200-week moving average. This is it right now. So if we go back, for example, back to 2013, you see this is the 200-week moving average, 200 weeks. So here we go, the 4-year moving average. Look how much Bitcoin disconnected from there. Did like a 10 to, this is a 29x, by the way, bang, up here. I think in the next month, it was like, he said, these is like wild numbers, right? Like these are huge, 20x. But look what happens in the next cycle, friends. In the next cycle, if you go down here, it deviates about 12x from the next cycle. So from 20x down to 12x. And then if we continue into our cycle, how much did it deviate at the top? We go down here and we mark exactly the top. We have about a 5x. So if you notice, it went from 20 to 12 to 5. So you have to guess over time with what's going on. But what I like about the monthly super trend is it adjusts for it based on a certain number of periods. And what you've done is you've basically shown that this distance here, if you were to use something like another indicator from the past that you try to grab the bands without adjusting for volatility, then you would be waiting for a much higher number. But this is a harsh realization for people, okay? Because if you go look out to everybody, mainstream crypto, what are they saying? It's just getting started. It's just getting started. We're just at $44,000. No. The data, the indicators, everything in the charts says it ain't just getting started. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green monthly candles in. If we go back in history too, look at this, friends. This is the previous bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green monthly candles, and it's over. I'm not saying obviously, I'm not saying it's over. I'm just telling you this is where you run out of buyers. Okay, 4 green monthly candles in a row. People want discounts. Now, what I've done is obviously I've put this the monthly super trend on because the monthly is huge, very, very, very big. And normally we look at weekly. Weekly is great. Don't try to trade off the monthly. Why? It's because crypto is so freaking volatile that a monthly trend reversal, the move is so far done, it's like halfway through. Now, you can still trade off it. It's just better to use a weekly. Now, I just want to show you this, right? This is really important because if we go back, you can see this. For example, it crossed red on the monthly here in June 2022. This was Celsius lunar collapse. Bitcoin is back down to 20,000. You're like, oh, that's useless. We're freaking at 69K and you tell me that the trend is reversed at 20,000. That's trash. What about before that? Bitcoin hit 20K and then look, it closes the month below here at 6,800. Now you're lucky the next month is green, but still, I mean, that's not good at all. Like that's like most of the movie's done. Okay, from 20K down to here. Also, look at even if you go before that, the first cycle, right, hits $1,100 here, and then By the time it goes monthly super trend red, it's literally the bottom of the bear market. It's Mt. Gox Ponzi collapse at the very bottom. So you can see there's a problem here. And this is where Richard Hart and Da Vinci bought Bitcoin up here. And look at this, look at this, look at this. By the time it confirms, friends, oh my gosh, it's a minus 82% down here. So literally, it confirms a monthly super trend red when it's 82% down. You can't do that, man. That's too much. Okay, you can't tell me, okay, we seem to be going bad now after it's dropped 70%. Weekly moves are much cleaner. So I'm going to put you on a weekly just to show you too, right? This is a weekly. Now, weekly is not perfect, but it is much cleaner compared to even the smaller one, 3 day or forever. It gives you warning signs, you know, sell and buy. It's very, very hard for them to manipulate this over and over and to switch it back. There is a fake out here though. Look at this. This is the double bubble scenario. We confirmed red on the weekly, and look, all you see is this, man. You think it's easy? Well, please focus your eyes, friends, on the right-hand side. Look at this. Please focus your eyes on the right side. We just had a giant bubble up, a giant run up, and now it's stopped. You see? But look what happens next, man. That's actually the start of the next bubble wave. So I run through this with you because all indicators have this problem of being 50-50-ish. It's just our job to try to decipher, you know, monthly, 2 week, weekly, these macro timeframes, and to see, like, you know, sure, maybe there is not a guarantee of this thing working, but I see a lot of euphoria. I see a lot of weak hands entering. I see Jim Cramer calling for more tops, example. When you see these things, for higher moves and all these other reverse indicators, such as like Ty Lopez releasing a coin, you know, it could be any of these. Now, when you're looking at this, remember that no one knows what's going on. It's just that you're trying to increase your probability of looking at a zone and going, can this be a risk zone? Can it be? That's all you want to do. Because you don't need to know the future. You just need to be sure that you make money no matter what. Which is like, okay, if you enter a risk zone, okay, so that's it. That's all you're saying. If you enter a risk zone at some point, for example here, right, we've just flipped on the buy indicator. Now, we're not done with the cycle, but someone who's trading, they might go, you know what? If we do go down from here, I want to make sure that I've made money. So I'm going to give, let's say I think there's like a 25% chance that we go down from here. Okay, well, let's say you have one Bitcoin to your name and you just in spot Bitcoin. You go, I'm going to trade out of 0.25 and just park it on the side. That's one example of how you'd approach it, because all you're doing is you're basically admitting you don't have 100% certainty as to what happens next, but you don't care about that. That's caring about being right, having an ego. We care about making money. So the big news, right, is that the monthly super trend has flipped green. Now, it is one of the most consistent macro indicators you can get, solidifying a big bull trend. However, when this happens, it indicates a pause for a minimum of 2 months. So we can go back and we can actually see the last time I did this. So once it confirms it, friends, it's a thrust up. It's basically confirming we're done with the bear. We are done with the bear. We're not going down. But look, we do actually go down. In the previous cycle, friends, I'm going to draw your attention to something. You see this vertical line? This is the Bitcoin halvening. We were so front to the Bitcoin halvening. We had 1, 2, 3 red monthly candles. We basically went up too much too fast. You can also go back to the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle, which is very similar to our cycle now. This is roughly where we are right now. I'm going to show you today, okay? Look at this, look at this. Look where our vertical line is, friends. You see this? See our vertical line here? This is our Bitcoin halvening this year, April. You see how we are very close to it? Well, in the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle, it's just fascinating how the ghosts of the past repeat. The Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle is here. See how we flip green and then we have 2 red monthly candles. So as I've just shown you, there was a period where we had 3 red monthly candles, and then there was a cycle where we did 2, which basically kind of tells, okay, expect some poopiness in Bitcoin or slowing down or ranging February, March, perhaps. You might say to me, hey, what happened to the first cycle? Well, look at this. In 2012, okay, we actually go to 2012. To your surprise, you'll notice it flips green, but it keeps going up. Now, what people are probably going to do is they will look at this and say, this is going to be our scenario. Hold your horses. Because in this scenario, look at this vertical line. That's the Bitcoin halvening. We flipped green after the Bitcoin halving. This would be like us reaching $44,000 in May this year, May to June, right? Instead of reaching it in December last year. So that's like us being really late to the cycle. So if you're late to cycles, the catch up is like a staircase to heaven. That's what it is. It just means like there's just no sellers because we're running behind schedule at this point. We need to catch up. If you're running ahead of schedule, as you saw in 2019, which was this cycle, as you're running ahead of schedule, there's pain. I mean, we had the zombie virus that happened. The zombie virus was part of the pain to like counteract the euphoria. But what we have right now is just a very simple repeat of 2016. But it's going to come with a cost, you know, like, hey, yeah, we are going up, but at the end of the day, there's a price to pay, right? Some red monthly candles. Now, we don't know how big they're going to be, of course, got to stress to you that. So there you go, right? So you have 2016 and 2019, Bitcoin had to stop. And I've written it here. See, go, stop, stop. Basically, it's 2 out of 3 times. And look, obviously, friends, if you sniff a lot of chairs, you got pointy elbows, you wear fluffy slippers, of course we do that. And we drink very cold orange juice. You can look at this and say, I'm going to gamble that our cycle is like the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle, this one. Because Mt. Gox did 80% of the world's Bitcoin volume, and the Mt. Gox exchange ran a Ponzi. Some people say, like me, this is like the ghost spirit of our cycle with FTX. They also ran a Ponzi. And we had similar price action, we had a similar double bottom, and now we're having a similar recovery. Isn't it fascinating, man? Fascinating that this might be our cycle of what happens. Now, what I hope is you see this straight line up only. This is like deep. This is secret edge, friends. See this line? Oh, this is line going up. Now, we might find that in our cycle here, you know, to get to the top, we might find it just looks like that, and then it's done. Because I'm just going off Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle. It's just that so much blood had happened. It was just a staircase. Green, 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 red, green, 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 red, green, red, like that. And you just kind of find your way at the top. And it doesn't satisfy everybody because everyone's looking for, you know, like a big euphoria, right? Which happened in 2016, 17, but we don't know if we're going to get that. We hope we get that. And so, you know, so this important information, you know, wow, Bitcoin has finally crossed the monthly supertrend. You know, I made videos about this in 2023, by the way. I literally said, go back, watch my videos. I made videos on the supertrend, and I literally said, the key price of all for Bitcoin is at 44,500. We must close a month above that, and that'll be coming in. Here we are now. Isn't it funny? I made it literally like, you know, I remember like maybe 5-6 months ago because I knew the price. It's just a matter of time. And I was hoping like we would get there. And I did say like if we repeat the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle, then we should just kind of just grind up. And I said, and I remember when I was doing it, we had FUD going around. We had like corrupt SEC FUD and everything for Bitcoin. I was just mentioning like, I know it sounds crazy, but this news doesn't actually matter. The price and everything matters. It's almost like what really matters is what happens at the bottom and what happens at the top. I think that's what really matters. It's really weird. I don't know. I have to spend more time thinking about it, but it's almost like, okay, we had Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle. We had FTX collapse. It's like those souls that have now, you know, passed and gone to heaven and died for our sins, basically, and died for their own sins too, right? Those souls who have been like basically capitulated, they now mark like basically the spirit of the bull that comes next. I don't know why it happens. I don't know why. It's crazy. It's like there's some sort of player makeup that gets removed, but you know, it's fascinating to think about. And we're going to end with the big daddy Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, you see, friends, Ethereum, this is the daily chart. Ethereum, ETH BTC broke the low and now it's come back out. Feels like some sort of fake out here. There's a lot of people capitulating. I know I'm in a lot of Ethereum Discord, guys. A lot of people like really, really stressed. I mean, remember, they had to call Vitalik to come back out to make a new roadmap, man. Vitalik basically quit 2 years ago. Now he's come back. He's like, oh, crap, we haven't won the battle yet. We haven't flipped Bitcoin. I guess we've got to flip Bitcoin. By the way, ETH BTC is 0.05. It flips Bitcoin at 0.16. So that's probably I'm just saying it. I'm just saying the quiet part out loud. I reckon that's when Vitalik actually really retires. It's when Ethereum finally flips Bitcoin. That's his ultimate goal, to get ETH BTC to 0.16. And I can show you it on the chart right now. That is, this is the weekly chart where we are. Everyone's saying it's over, but it would flip at, see this line up here, this yellow line, I've got it marked right up there. So we're hoping something happens like that. That will mean the world wants yield coins, stable coins, everything. But now you've seen the monthly super trend for Bitcoin. Everything's playing on track, friends. I am schizophrenic, paranoid, peanut brain. There's nothing in here, literally nothing. And I'm like, well, I don't trust this cycle. I don't trust the 4-year cycle fully because I'm skeptical. I'm like, man, too many people know we're going to get scammed some way. But so far, tick for tick, month for month, we are exactly on track. What comes next? Maybe we have 2 red months. Maybe Feb's a bit down, March is a bit down. And then maybe in April, in the Bitcoin halving, we like sell off into it and then reverse the month green or finish like a doji. Maybe. And maybe in those months, people play around more with altcoins until maybe Bitcoin goes too far with the stock market. Got to remind you as well, the Fed's cutting rates. Got to make more videos about that. Just to let you know, remember, when the Fed cuts rates once, the average drawdown for the stock market is minus 27% because there's a recession coming after that. I guess we'll see what happens, friends. At least you know, monthly super trend green. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Don't forget to love it. Tell mom and daddy you love them too. Catch you soon.